Hello Sagittarius, here's a reading for you for June 2018. As you can see, I've already laid out the cards because I was doing the reading in my native language first. I also needed to take a few additional cards in order to make it more clear. It's quite a challenging reading, but also full of very courageous energy. You appear right in the middle. You, Sagittarius, by the way, this is for Sun, Moon and Rising Sagittarius, and also check your other signs. They are all on a playlist. You appear as Princess of Wands. This is your current situation. This is very young energy. As I said, full of courage, full of curiosity. I feel like you begin something, you're in a new situation, and you're eager to check what's at the end of this road, because she's on some path, and she's looking into the future, into towards what's in front of her. So she's expecting something. I like the expression on her face very much. This Princess of Wands. So perhaps you've just begun. Perhaps you're into something new, and you're very enthusiastic about it. You have the great young, fresh power. And it's good because you have two fives in your reading. Fives are always challenging energies. But let's begin here with Seven of Swords, crowning your reading. It means it's coming from above. It's something that you need to encounter this month. In this deck, Seven of Swords is less about being sneaky and cheating, and more about being smart. You can see the old man creating, writing something, thinking about something in the midst of the night, working on something. I think he's thinking about a smart resolution of some kind, and he needs to be quick in it because he would sleep if he could, but apparently he cannot. He needs to find a solution to something. So there is definitely a mental work to be done here, especially that you have 4 swords cards. Here, 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 and here. So lots of thinking, lots of analyzing, lots of rational decisions to be made this month. And the Seven of Swords is definitely a progress, because in the past you have 6 of Swords. So you have already done some mental work. This card is sometimes called science. It's about finding a precious point of equilibrium in life. It's also about overcoming obstacles, moving through obstacles into the safer area, with only 6 swords on a deck. So perhaps you left something behind and you were moving through obstacles, and now there's another thing to be done, another work to be done, another mental work to be encountered. In challenge position, you have the High Priestess, and it seemed very mysterious to me, because the first thought was, you have difficulties in trusting your intuition, and it still can be true, right? It still can be true that you are not very eager to trust your guts, especially with so many swords cards in the reading, because swords are about thinking, about your mind. And when the mind rules, the intuition very often recedes. So perhaps there is a need to put those two in the balance, because they can. Of course they can. If we have both of them, it means we can choose to use both of them for our greater good. But it was unclear to me, so I took another card, and we have 2 of Wands. So another 2. We have 2s here. So perhaps there is choice to be made. Perhaps there is a discrepancy between your mind and your gut. But most of all, I feel there is something or someone in your life that isn't telling the truth, or that isn't telling you the whole truth. Because the High Priestess is very often a card of mystery. Something is mysterious here. Something is hidden behind the veil. And it's it's influencing your future. Two of Wands is about planning. Two of Wands is about making use of your energy in the best possible way. Two of Wands is about convergence of your energy, choosing the direction you want to go. And in this mystery ambience, perhaps the result would be flawed, would be not the way you imagined it. It would be flawed with errors, perhaps. That's why I feel this is a kind of warning sign that there is something you need to cut out here, and perhaps you are afraid to do it because this can be a very important person. That's what I feel. Perhaps an important woman in your life that is not telling you everything you need to hear, or that is plain lying. And the answer to this mystery is very harsh. That's the position, how to cope with this challenge. You need to cope with it with a harsh way. Five of Swords, one of the most difficult cards in tarot, because it tells about losses, inevitable losses. It's no win-win situation. You need to lose something. But most of all, this card says, accept losses and move on. Accept losses and proceed. Because they are, apparently, they are inevitable. And this may be the result of this thinking here. Because you have Seven of Swords, here you have 2, and here you have 5. It goes very well on a numeric level, right? Because 2 plus 5 equals 7. And 7 minus 2 equals 5. So you need to make this tough decision to cut something off, perhaps to lose something or someone. That's why 5 of Swords appears here. And with your strength as Queen of Swords, I think you can do it. You really can do it. It can be difficult, but you know, this lady doesn't stand a lie. She hates it. I think that's the most truth concentrated persona in the whole tarot. She's ready to cut the bullshit. And she won't regret it. She'll never regret it. She has been through a lot. She has been cheated. She has been lied to. And now she's no longer willing to accept it. And she won't. And I feel that's your energy. Of course, your energy may appear as someone doing this. So it doesn't have to be you. Perhaps it's someone that's supporting you in this way. But still, it's your energy that allows this person to appear into your lives. That's why I always talk about your energies. How will they appear? Whether it's your doing or someone else's, it doesn't matter. She's the Queen of Swords. She will cut the head off, the lying head off, with her sword. And she won't hesitate. So, it feels harsh, and it is harsh, but it's also necessary, I feel. And I also feel that you won't have regrets. You're ready to do it. You won't think much when you decide. Once you decide, you'll do it. Just like that. The area of focus, what to focus on. You have 5 of Pentacles, a very difficult energy in this position. And the first thing I see when I look at this card, I see the lady who doesn't want to see how the reality looks like. There's some hunting or chase in the background, and the rabbit or the hare will probably lose his life in order for the dog to live. So, you know, I think this card is about accepting that there are sometimes times when we feel down, when we are in the lack, especially material lack. Perhaps this person or this energy you decide to cut off is important, also on a material level. Perhaps it's someone important to you. And what you need to realize is that the losses are inevitable and they are the natural part of life. This card says it is inevitable. This card says it's a natural part of life. Our life isn't a straight line. It's a sine line. It goes up, then it goes down, up and down. There are ups and downs. There are sorrows and there are joys. There are times of work and there are times of leisure. You need to accept it. You need to look at it as it is, in its nature. It's how it is. You don't need to be afraid of it. It won't last forever. All the energies are transitional. This one also. This is the turning point, and you need to live it. You need to live it through. You need to experience it in order to appear, in order to arrive at the other side. I chose one more card for this because I wanted to understand what does it tell us. It tells us that there are ups and downs, and now perhaps you're down, but you'll be up again. You will be. Nine of Pentacles is quite the oppositional energy. But sometimes we need to make steps that put us in this kind of situation. And that's natural, and we need to embrace it. And if you embrace it, if you recognize this situation, you can do something about it. And that's what Queen of Swords does. She doesn't turn away from the situation. No, she faces it. You need to face the situation in order to make best of it. I think also these cards indicate that there's time of... now it's not time for spending. It's time for saving. Perhaps the aftermath of this situation is that you need to save money. You need to save resources of all kinds. But in order to do this, you need to recognize it. You need to admit, okay, now I want to save. I won't spend, I will save. This card also often says that there is a difficulty in asking for help. You need help, but you don't do it. Why? There's definitely an advice here with King of Pentacles. Ask for help. There is help available. There is someone with lots of resources who's willing to help you. You only need to ask. You only need to open your eyes on this situation and realize that perhaps you need help. When you need help, ask for it. It's there for you. One day, you'll be able to give it back. Surely, you will. But now it's time to accept that there is lack and you need someone to support you. And that's it. You only need to look the truth in the face, and I think that's precisely what you're doing. You're looking the truth in the face. You're no longer accepting any bullshit, no matter how difficult your situation becomes as the aftermath of this cutting off the bullshit. It doesn't matter. You don't need to stand it. You don't need to live with the lies, and you will no longer, I feel. Just accept that the transitional energy of luck is something very natural as the result of these things. Okay, so that's a reading for you, dear Sagittarius. I hope you are well. I hope you will be well. I hope you have a beautiful month, and I wish you it. Thank you for your time, and see you next month. Bye-bye.